All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Q&A live stream number 49. It is approximately 6:55 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. So we're going to give people a couple of minutes to go ahead and join our little broadcast tonight. So there isn't really that much to talk about in regards of this whole thing, but I would say that we're pretty much very close to the end. Um, I don't know when that's going to be, but I think sooner than later than expected. Hey, Garden State Elevators, how are you? Hello, Dylan D. Jesus, how are you? Um, but yeah, so very excited about that. And hello, Lenny A03, how are you? So, I think we're pretty much almost at the end. So it is confirmed beaches are going to open up for Memorial Day weekend. However, there is going to be some changes. Number one, beaches will be cut at 50% capacity. There will be nothing else opened at the beaches unless there is restaurants for takeout only. There will be no arcades, amusement rides, or any type of attraction opened. So pretty much you're going down there to just go to the beach and then go home. It's not even going to be an experience of just sitting down at a restaurant. It's you're going down to the beach to enjoy the day and then you're going home. That's it. And I get why they have to do it, but it sucks. But what can you do? Um, so as far as fall goes, I don't know yet what's going to happen with the whole thing with school. I know some schools are already making the difficult decision to be online for the fall semester. I don't know what's going to happen with whatever school I end up going to in the fall, if it's going to be online or not. Like I said, this literally happened right pretty much halfway through my spring semester. It was, everything was going fine. I was in my dorm. I was going to different shopping centers and filming elevators, and then bam. It kind of happened like that. We, we I was told, we're told in our emails that we have to the classes will be online for the time being. They gave us a date to go get your stuff back, so I went back actually on a Monday before I started all my classes and got about maybe 75% of the stuff. Maybe it was going to go, maybe this was going to be short term. Didn't expect it to be long term, and now here we are. It's May. We're still seeing about 100 to 200 deaths. It's still better than where we were by then, but it's we there have been so many lives lost to this, and this is probably one of the most devastating events that not just our country has handled, but I think the entire world. You know it is quite frankly sad. It is just sad and depressing. I mean, everybody pretty much lost unless you actually did something. you know um Not to be mean, but yeah. A lot of people, lost out. Retailers lost out big. Nordstrom's and Freehold closed. Lord and Taylor is going to be starting their liquidation sales very shortly. That they haven't started it yet at those two stores that they just opened up today. J.C. Penney, I believe, just filed for bankruptcy. Neiman Marcus is in bankruptcy. Um, it's everybody lost, and now people, like me, who decided to leave their college. This was the exit ticket I needed. This pandemic came at the right time. I was going to leave anyway, but um, it's still sad. It's still sad. Hey, Fantech, how are you, man? Hi. Oh, right, everyone's saying hi to Fantech. Um, but it's I mean, I think this whole thing is it's an experience. It's certainly something that we have never seen. I hope um maybe this will be the worst wave, but I don't know. They're saying it's going to come back in the fall. I mean, I think what it would be smart to do it online to prevent a second wave of the coronavirus, but I don't know. I think it's not a bad idea because it would actually prevent a second wave of the coronavirus, but I don't know. It's that's the tough thing. So the question comes down to how do we do it and not, you know, do with that. And no, Lord and Taylor is not. That store is not opening up there. Plus, they're struggling financially, and at some point, they're going to make the announcement about ceasing all operation. No, I would not drive an hour. No. Um, the only exception I made was the Armors in Hicksville, and that was because those things were super vintage, and that store was going out. I have no regrets making that trip whatsoever. I'm happy I did it when I did it, and I did it right before this whole thing with the pandemic started to get really bad. Yeah, the believe that store's final day was March 17th, right when they were starting to close all the stores. So Comac is most likely going to open up again, and Harrisburg is, but I think they'll be opened up for a week or two to adjust everything, and then I think they're going to go right into liquidation sales. Yeah, because here's the thing: I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be, regular store for a week or two, and then they're going to go right into liquidation sales. It's still incredibly sad. I mean, people are losing their jobs left and right. The unemployment is just. So, I mean, I don't like to play the blame game, but I think and now it's just not that. I mean, there's still, to this day, there's still people that are protesting in many different states about getting back to work. New York State, I believe, just extended the stay-at-home order, at least for the southern part of the state, until about June 13th. So it's upstate is starting the process today, but downstate it was extended to June 13th. So I mean, I'm hopeful that by then, at least we can just put this damn virus behind us. This. I mean, I get it. This was going to be a disruption, but I mean, this literally hit like a meteor on everybody's life. This affected me because I mean, everybody was forced to go home from school, but I lost out on Sears of Smith Haven. I lost out on Kmart at Penn Station. I might potentially lose out on Nordstrom's and Freehold if they do really not choose to reopen up the store. And I might lose out on some other places. So it's definitely going to be an unfortunate list that's going to grow much larger. But I don't know. I mean, I'm keeping my hopes up high, and I'm optimistic that I might get back to them all in the middle of June. But it all depends on which way they go. So I'm just taking it day by day, and hopefully things will improve in the May so that malls can open up again. And that's what I'm really waiting for at this point is waiting for, and it's not just, and obviously I want to give the retailers a couple of days to reopen up the stores because you got to remember when I eventually do make the trip out to Long Island, everything has to be opened. I'm not just going to go and then there's going to be spotty and this ain't going to be open. No, I want to make sure that every single store in each of the destinations that I'm going to is going to be opened. I'm not wasting my time otherwise. Have you been to the Royal Albert's place where no, I have not. Quaker Bridge? I mean, it's not impossible. It could very well happen, but the question is, does Boscov's really want a store in Mercer County? It comes down to that. Do they want a store in Mercer County and Monmouth County? I don't know if Boscov's is really looking to expand right now, especially given the circumstances of the COVID-19 crisis. What would replace Sears at Freehold Raceway Mall? So it was supposed to be round one, but from what I heard, the plans actually got rejected from the town to put a round one. So I don't know yet what's going to go in that former lower level space. But honestly, Freehold is a mall that is in some serious trouble. It's losing Nordstrom's. I'm crossing my fingers that petition will actually get to corporate, but I don't know at this point. I haven't seen any updates, which is unfortunate. They're poised to lose Lord & Taylor because Lord & Taylor is closing all their stores. JCPenney today just filed for bankruptcy, and I don't know about Macy's at that mall. So I think Freehold is in a lot of trouble for, given the circumstances that the mall is in now. So I do think that the mall is in a lot of trouble unless they can seriously attract a store like Bloomingdale's. But again, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I think there's certain limitations with the mask. You know, I mean, to be honest, the only time I've worn a mask is to go in the stores. I mean, it's required by my state, obviously, and probably all the other states. I mean, I was in many stores and they have plexiglass and all kinds of stuff. it's really scary, and everybody is kind of nervous all because of a virus. I get it, it kills people, but it's I don't know. I mean, I think they over exaggerated a little bit on this whole thing. They made it out to something that it was really nothing, and I don't know. It's just like, at some point people have to get back to work because we can't take any more losses. I mean, colleges are going to lose money, and then what's going to happen? What colleges for the future of colleges is just going to be online. There's not going to be any in-person instruction. So it's yeah, in Pennsylvania today there was a protest, I believe, but I think it's going to come down to, how, there's how much more can people take of this. I would personally hate to see another extension. I thought, maybe May 15th is a decent, today. I thought, yeah, but I mean, we're pretty close. I think if we get under the triple digits, we might be okay to reopen. But again, I don't know personally. I would hate to be stuck and then the whole summer's gone and then we get August and then all of a sudden there's another spike in September. So it's just, I don't know. I'm personally hoping sooner than later for this because I mean, June, that's it. Like they can't do July. We can't take any more of this. We have to start easing restrictions at the very least by the middle of June. You know, Remember this was only supposed to be a temporary situation. Everybody knew we had to give up April. There was no question about that. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. It's we had to give up April. That was the bottom line. But at this point now it's just getting ridiculous. I get it. April, middle of May. Now, I mean, how much farther do the governors want to drag this out? You know, and I'm not trying to have political differences, but there's only so far that they can drag this out, and I think it is an attempt to make a certain person lose an election, but I think that's just stupid at this point. You know, it's not fair to undertreat people just for political gain. You know, that's what they're doing. They're taking advantage of this pandemic and making themselves look good and making our commander in chief look bad. I don't know. That's just the way that I feel, honestly. Um, oh, I know. I agree totally. No, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I mean, there has to be some kind of cure. I think by fall. I think what should really happen is once this kind of calms down with the whole virus, and then people can go back. I think they need scientists working literally around the clock to get a vaccine ready to go. You know, or some kind of treatment ready to go. Because people can only take this for so long. Like I said, this was supposed to be a temporary situation where, okay, we're giving up half of March, we're giving up April, and now all of a sudden we're giving up May. It's, how much more can this go on for? You know, I mean, I'm glad that cases are starting to decrease, but what's going to happen is it's going to go down and down and down and down. And I don't know. It's just crazy. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what it is at this point. Hey, Scott, how are you, man? And that's another thing. A lot of colleges in California made the decision this week, and they said tell all the students that every single university in the state of California is going to be having classes for an entire fall semester. So pretty much anybody in on the West Coast in California, they were just informed that yeah, you're going to be online, especially for incoming freshmen. Um, they now have to reconsider their plans. They might take a gap year, they might go to community college like I am next year. Um, but I think they need to, do something, and they need to do it fast. I agree, definitely. I mean, people are getting fed up. I think on both sides of the aisle, honestly. Yeah, I mean, they have to. I mean, they have to start easing restrictions because the longer they wait, the more people are going to protest, and they're going to protest, and they're going to grow louder and louder. So pretty much, that's okay. Thank you, Fantech. I'll see you later. But like I said, the longer these economies stay closed, the more angrier, and furious the people are going to get about this whole thing. You know, and it's going to be it's you know ultimately it has to you know go they people have to start getting back to work. They people can only take so much, and I've even seen the lines for the food banks. you know People can only take so much of this. People have to get back to work. It has to be done in a safe and way where we can contain the virus, because right now I wear a mask. I could walk into a supermarket right now. Why am I not able to walk into a non-essential business? I get it, it's essential, but I should be able, the same protocols that are being in the grocery stores, in the pharmacies, in the 7-Eleven. I should be able to do that at a retail store or on a train. But no, they say nope, sorry, to mitigate the spread and to make sure, we have to close the stores. So I don't know. And then finally, when New Jersey did the whole thing when they closed the state parks, $10,000 if you went during that. And I'm still very furious about that. You don't just charge somebody $10,000 by going to a park so that they can get fresh air. I mean, to this day, I find that ridiculous. I mean, I'm happy that New York didn't do that, but I mean, oh my God, New Jersey, like really. No, Long Island, I mean, I think what Governor Cuomo said is once each region reaches the benchmarks, they can immediately enter phase one. So it depends on how long it takes for each region to meet phase one, but only parts of upstate started phase one today. I don't know yet about my community college being online in the fall. Right now, places in the West Coast are just making the decision. I don't know about East Coast decisions yet. That I don't know. I don't know how LL Bean will be. Personally, I've been able to see my friends and I've practiced social distancing. So at least it's something. I was a little bit too hot today. It was like 84 degrees today. But yesterday and the day before, I got to see my friends, which was nice. So you just, I mean, I'm making the best of it, but I can only do this crap for so long. Oh damn. Yeah, I wanted to really get a job this summer, but now with the whole thing with COVID, that's like literally out of the question at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, I really wanted to, but unfortunately, that's out of the question at this point. Oh, you do work at a grocery store. I think it's a bunch of Schindlers, but I don't think it's going to open up. I'm sure they will get canceled. Yeah. No, I agree. Those who are, they're struggling to put. I mean, I'm in a good situation, but I feel bad for all the other people. That their families are barely making enough money to put food on the table for their kids. Yeah, I hope so. They really should cancel them. I think it's a ridiculous $10,000 charge just by going to a state park. That would be interesting. Yep, that's what happens in the wonderful state of New Jersey. No, that's only for the upper regions, like that have meet all the 7 out of 7 benchmarks. Yeah, so Cuomo did it as a regional approach, which I knew is because New York is a big state. You got Long Island, you got the Mid Hudson, so parts of the upper state, um, are opening back up. The parts that are not opening up is the greater area of Buffalo, New York, and the New York City metropolitan area, which actually includes the capital region, which is Albany. So anything from Buffalo and then south of Albany is not south, and east of Albany is not reopening up. Anything that is north and west that's not Buffalo, that's expected to enter phase one as of today. As of today. That would be Phil Murphy, the unfortunate governor of my state that I live in. Of course, that's just stupid. What kind of jerk decides to charge? Yeah, they canceled a whole bunch of my things. I think about where I was supposed to be Memorial Day parade canceled completely. I think there's probably going to be a streaming service online, but yeah, they're not doing any parades or any gatherings. And I don't even know how Fourth of July is going to look at this point. I mean, I'm crossing my fingers that something will happen, but I don't know at this point. They canceled Oktoberfest in Germany. What else did they cancel? The Expo 2020 was canceled. The Olympics that were supposed to be taking place this summer got moved to 2021. What else? What else got canceled? Can't even think. A couple of events near me. Certain ones are available. Like they're going to have a, I don't know. There's just some paper shredding event, but I think it's probably going to be like a drive-through event. It's literally you go and then you literally leave. So it's that kind of thing. Well, that's good. Yeah, and then you can once things start to get a little bit better, you can start looking for another job, I guess. Why would a TikToker dump a crate of milk and cereal? He dumped a crate of milk and cereal on a subway? Wow. That's sad actually. Like I get it. You want to get that famous, but I mean, really? Like you really want to get in trouble, get legal charges just to make a video for internet fame? That's kind of stupid actually in my opinion. I don't have TikTok, and to this day I still refuse to do it because I just think it's just stupid, and I think it's just a waste of time. But that's just me, honestly. I don't think so. I think at this point I am crossing my fingers that there will be some form of a vaccine hopefully by the end of this year, if not beginning of next. But I think there's enough ways to fast track it. There's so much money that's on the line, and I think we just need to get past this. So, but yeah, yeah, I don't even know what they're gonna do with. And that's another thing. Summer camp programs. Some states are like, yeah, we want to have it. It's I don't even know about that, and that's another. I just read something. I think the program in my town they're trying to actually cancel the thing, which makes sense. You can't really practice social distancing with it. Um, so it's I don't know. It's this whole thing is just throwing everybody off. It's literally like a disruption. You know. I mean, the good news is I was able to take care of school, but it's just I don't know. There's just like what's the point of getting stuff done and even going out? You can barely do anything. Plus, there's a lovely curfew of 8 p.m. So it's not like you can be out after 8 p.m. So it's yeah, there is a statewide curfew in my state at least. Yeah, you have to be in your house by 8 o'clock unless you're going out to get food or something. But yeah, you can't be out past 8 o'clock because there's still a curfew. So it stinks. From what I heard, I think my YMCA swimming program might be canceled. I mean, it depends on when it starts, but yeah, I mean, maybe. So I think this whole thing is just yeah, New Jersey there was yeah, we had some of the we have some of the toughest rules. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of my governor. I don't really like him personally. I know I didn't vote for him because at the time I was a minor, but I'm definitely not voting for him next year. I mean, you don't just impose a $10,000 fine for to by going to a state park for passive recreation. That I think that was just ridiculous. I don't know why he did that. That was another reason he kept us. I mean, I get April, that was with the government, and I totally get that. But the fact that he took forever to try and reopen up stuff, and I don't know, it's just I think the one governor that stood out of all this had to be Cuomo. But I think now it is starting to get to his head a little bit too. Um, you know, because the people are going to lose money. I mean, that's just it. Yeah, I never liked the guy. I don't really like him. I think you don't just impose a $10,000 fine by going to a state park to practice passive recreation, and then to tell people stay at home and then the curfews and stuff. So, it's I don't know. I don't really like him. Tom Wolf is okay. I mean, at least he's starting to finally open up areas and realize that he needs to get his state back. But Phil Murphy is kind of just holding us hostage, unfortunately. I mean, I guess I mean, I don't know. He's not my favorite governor, that's for sure. The closest YMCA, the Meadowlands YMCA, that would be the closest one. I've never been there, but I know a friend who has a relative that works there. I think as a counselor or something. I don't know personally, but that's just how I feel. No, God, no, definitely not. Um, no, that if Cuomo just did that, you would have everybody protesting it. So yeah. Well, but the phases only last 2 weeks, so that's not that bad. I mean, you know. Well, the governors don't really care. Honestly, it's you know, look, and I'm not a Cuomo supporter. Never was, and never will be. I think he did a great job in April. He took the lead for New York State, and not just for New York State, but the whole region. I appreciate the job he did. It was smart. But I think now it is starting to get to his head a little bit. You know, um, I mean that's the way I feel, and that's just it. So, but yeah, I'm back. I hope so. After May 20. Yeah, I wonder when dogs go into the phase. It'd be interesting to see when they do. I mean, maybe the 29th of May. Maybe it'll take a little bit for Hershey Park to open. I mean, I don't know when I'm even going to that at this point. I mean, I'm probably going to wait till the end of my first summer session. I might try, and I might end up going maybe after 4th of July. I don't know yet. I mean, we'll see. You know, yeah, I think China is going to have to pay a big price, vaccine or not. They're going to have to pay a nice big price. Um, yeah. Oh, I know, but Long Island. I mean, I don't know. Oh, hey, don't worry, man. No penalty for being late. Um, I don't know. I would like to try and go out to Long Island the right before Father's Day, but and it all depends on which stores specifically are open. 'Cause like I said, me going out there, it's a one shot deal. You know, I have to make sure that everything is opened up out there. It's not going to be a thing where only selected stores are open. So I got to make sure that all stores are open when I get out there. But yeah, I don't know. I hope, and honestly, I think that's just the date that's to put out there. Hopefully, crossing our fingers that things will change. It'll be a little bit earlier than June 13th, but hopefully it'll be earlier so that at least it gives me a chance to get out there before Father's Day. That would just be beautiful to go out there and to see Macy's and Comac and Smith Haven and Walt Women's shops. Well, China mostly has to pay, and the WHO too, I think, is at fault because China lobbied to the WHO and said, "Oh, it's under control." So, you know, that's the way I feel. I mean, China caused a global, worldwide pandemic, and they couldn't control it beyond their borders, which is just incredibly sad at this point. Speaking of saving a store, so I want to actually talk about Nordstrom's at Freehold. Let's actually change gears here. So the petition to keep Nordstrom's at Freehold right now has about over over 11,700 plus signatures. So I don't know if it ever is going to get to corporate, but I think there has really been a lot of effort that's put in for the petition. So hopefully we can get some kind of liquidation sale there, but I don't know. Little Richard, I think I learned about him in my jazz class, believe it or not. That's a shame though. He died right after my semester ended. That's crazy. So me too, man. I wish there was more that I can do rather than to just walk or go to a restaurant to get takeout or and go to a park. Rock band and singer. Interesting. I need to get out too. You think I like sitting in a house during quarantine? This is not fun. Yeah. And it's funny. I remember sitting in my it was a geography and world issues class freshman year of college. Um, and there was these people that were coming, to study abroad in China. And I'm just like, no way, I'm not doing that. And now here I am saying that's probably the best decision I've ever made because now they got the whole thing with the coronavirus. So that's incredible. I'm glad I looked the other way during that. Best decision I ever made. That was the best decision. And then going to Macy's in Hicksville in February, that was another really good decision I made before this whole thing with the pandemic went down. 73 degrees, yeah. I mean, I didn't really go out today. It was a little bit too hot, and the last thing I wanted to do was walk. It was a little bit too hot today. I didn't want to do it. I might go walking tomorrow. Honestly, I mean, this is finally the first day where I don't have something to do, and it was just nice to just sit back and kind of relax. So yeah, that's the way I felt. Yeah, I went on, what was it, February 9th. Yeah, because there was some kind of effed up construction. I had to wait till the 9th. So I worked my ASSS off on homework. And then I literally got up at like 5, had some cereal and a banana and some milk from the fridge. I was on a train at, I think, 6:27. I got to Hicksville by 9 o'clock. Uh, and then I went to, what was it? And then I went through the mall. I saw the Macy's store. I saw Round One. I saw, what was the other place I saw? Oh, IKEA, and the mall elevator. So an interesting, cute little mall. It's a shame they lost their Macy's store. That was the last special place and elevator and escalators in the mall. Now it's just all freaking Schindler at this point, which is very unfortunate. I will try my best to get to Macy's and Comac. No promises, but like I said, I will try my best. Like I said, it depends on how this whole thing with the pandemic goes. Hopefully, by the time things start opening up, things will get better, and I'll be able to go on a train, wear a face mask, and practice social distancing. So that's pretty much the end of that. COVID-19 health updates. Not really much. I mean, New Jersey's opening up stores only for retail curbside pickup. What's it called? I think they're doing something else too. Oh yeah, drive-in movie theaters can open up. Um, what else can open up? I think that's it really for now. No, I haven't been to the Village of America Park. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I think it would just be sad, honestly, for a virus to wipe us all out. But I think they'll find a vaccine and a cure, and I think we can just put this behind us next year. Hopefully, there'll be a treatment sooner than later. I know studies and trials take a while of time, but hopefully over the summer they can just come up with something. Everybody will get it, and that's it. Yeah, I mean that I think is the biggest elevator loss this year. I think the second worst is Nordstrom's at Freehold, and literally that was unexpected. Well, the problem with that is they prefer convenience. They don't want to go to a store that's crummy and old. Um, I think they prefer a store that's, attractive and it's to their taste, and that's the place where they feel comfortable and they get all the impressions on friends. I don't really know how, and it's also peer pressure too. You could say, "Oh, where'd you get that?" "Oh, I got my shirt at Sears." So it's also a thing too where people are like, "Oh, this guy went to Sears. He's not cool." Then if it versus, "Oh, this guy went to H&M. That's a cool place to go." So kind of like that almost. but a lot of it is just online now, and that's what's really going to kill all these great, amazing retailers. No, not anytime soon for JCPenney at Freehold. I also asked. There was no one on the sidewalk. I mean, okay, I know New York has that law where you are actually supposed to wear a mask out in public, but as long as there was no one in the area, yeah, I would let that pass. As long as there's no one in the area, so that's fine. I don't know, but I think there is going to be a vaccine, hopefully, cross our fingers, before the end of the year or right at the beginning of 2021. But yeah, whenever it's available, I want to be one of the first to get it, honestly. I would be one of the first to get it whenever it becomes available. But yeah, that's how I feel. So, but anyways, all right, guys, I will be right back. Just put anything in the chat, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm actually going to take these out a little bit. Actually, no, I don't want to. Okay. Kung Flu. There's a funny meme. It's Kung Fu Panda actually in the actually wearing a mask and then can connect it to an IV thing. It's kind of interesting though. Oh, they're going to close 16 stores. Do we know which ones that they're closing? I'm sure they'll have liquidation sales. Wow, 16. That's insane. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So, yeah. All right, guys. I know I don't want to get off too soon, but I kind of tired and I want to sit. So, anyways, guys, I want to thank you again for joining us today on Q&A live stream number 49. We will be back next Friday with Q&A live stream number 50, the one right before Memorial Day weekend. Everybody have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I know this is quick and short, but I wanted to end this live stream a little bit early today. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this live stream, and we will see you in the next one. That's it.